Here are the top 3 mistakes you're probably making when you first started out building your own AI automation agency that's costing you thousands of dollars, if not months and months of wasted time not moving the business forward. Now, my name is Edwin, and I've been in your exact same situation. I started building my own AI automation agency, Legacy AI, 4 months ago, and here's everything that I've learned so far. Okay, so let's actually dive straight into the top 3 mistakes. So, again, I'm not claiming to be like this seasoned, experienced guy who's been doing this for years, right? I'm not. I started out in January, and now it's near the end of April, so around 4 months. And I'm just sharing with you, like one on one, like honestly, the things that I've learned during these 4 months, and the progress that I've been making, right? So the top 3 mistakes that I'm also guilty of in the beginning is the first thing is learn the thing. Now, you may be surprised, like, you were like, Edwin, hold on. What do you mean by learn the thing is a mistake? Of course you need to learn the thing. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't learn anything. Of course you need to learn the basics, right? Of course you need to learn the AI tools, you need to learn the basics of like what's possible in NAN, voice flow, make, right? These local tools. You need to understand the landscape, what we're actually doing, what automations we're building. Of course, you should have hands-on experience, like building these automations yourself, right? You need to have some knowledge of what we're actually doing. You need to learn prompt engineering. Of course, you need to learn the thing. But I've seen so many people, including myself, when we first started, that that's the only thing that we focus on. Essentially, when we said learn the thing, everyone just assumed that the technical side is the only thing that you need to learn. But it's not. And even if you decide to learn the technical side of things, you shouldn't be learning everything, right? What you should be doing is you need to focus on one tech stack, one solution, right? So essentially the reason you need to understand why you're learning these things, right? The reason why you're learning these tools is because these tools like NAN, like VoiceFlow, like Make, like Vapi, like Python, these are all tools that allow you to build solutions. At the end of the day, you're not learning these things because they are cool. You're learning these things because they actually solve a problem, right? And oftentimes you only need to stop. Just focus on one tech stack that you're comfortable with and start from there. And only learn the other tech stacks when you need to. For example, if you first started out learning voice flow, like myself, you understand that voice flow is great for designing conversations and controlling conversations. So it's great for text-based AI agents, right? But again, you when you great to master this tool, that's why I did. But then only once you actually master tool like VoiceFlow, you got a good understanding. Only then did you expand towards your solution, right? Because VoiceFlow itself, it doesn't. You need to still like have some sort of automation builds that does something. For example, checking Google Sheets or like booking Canada, for example, right? That's where you expand on your tech stack and be like, hey, I actually want to learn Make or NAN. These are automation tools that allow me to connect to external tools that actually does things, right? So that's where you start exploring, but you don't start out by like, okay, today I'm going to learn NAN a little bit. Tomorrow I'm going to learn VoiceFlow, and like on Wednesday I'm going to learn Make, and then on Friday I'm going to learn about Vapi, right? No, you start from one tech stack and you expand outwards, right? And a lot of the times, if you're technical, great, then you already have an idea of like PyTorch and Flask API, etc., right? Then go ahead and master these, right? Again, all I'm saying that is when you first started out, you should only focus on one thing at a time. Now, the other side of this mistake people often neglect is the non-technical. And I would actually argue the non-technical things is actually slightly more important than the technical things, right? So I'm just going to add smaller in. The reason is because we are a business at the end of the day. We're not trying to be like, a full-on developer. You can if you want, but that's not the goal. Your goal is to become an AI automation agency owner. You are a business person. So at the end of the day, you should be trying to solve problems. That's what businesses do, right? Businesses solve problems. So you need to identify at least one problem when you first started, because sure, you can have the best tech stack, you can have the best automation builds in the world, you can have the best solution, but what's the solution if it doesn't solve any problem? You need, and as well, you need to understand the problem in order to solve the solution, right? So, in order to understand the problems in the industries, that means you need to talk to people. And that's where you need to learn the business side of things. I think that's what a lot of people neglect on. You need to understand problems facing by current industries if you want. For example, if you're talking to real estate people, they might have problems like, for example, spending so much time on like qualifying leads or explaining, recommending properties, for example, right? That's one pain point. Now, is this a real pain point or is it just a pain point that you think it's a pain point? Well, that's where you need like real world data, and the only way they can get real world data is by talking to people and learn the business side of things. That's where the most important things are, right? I draw a diagram here because most people think that AI automation, AI agency owners, they're just sitting on the desk and start coding and just unhappy and sad, right? This guy's pretty unhappy now because he's like sitting on the desk for like 24 hours just like coding. But that's not what we want to be, right? This is a business. To get to talk, you need to talk to people at the end of the day. Now, in the beginning, I'm guilty of that as well. Like I thought, like, oh, if you just focus on learning these tools, then the business will work. You need to talk to people, okay? Hopefully, so I'm not rambling on. Now, the second thing is code outreach. I've seen a lot of people also try when they first started. They start spamming like thousands of emails to random people they haven't met before and just start selling their own AI solutions. It's like basically saying, hey, look at this AI chatbot that's going to save you hundreds of hours of time, blah, 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 right? Thing is, that's not the first thing you should be doing, right? Because the reason why is because nobody knows who you are. Like, you have no case studies. You have no testimonials. You're just like one random guy who's trying to email business owners saying, hey, look at these AI chatbots. They don't understand value and they don't trust you because they don't know who you are. And it's very unlikely that people will buy from you if they don't know who you are, or you can't show them examples or case studies that kind of build your authority and your credibility. And when you first started out, you have no authority and you have no credibility, right? So that's why you need to start with warm contacts first. What I mean by that is people who know you, who trust you, like your friends, your family, your colleagues. Go talk to them. Start to understand the problems of their industries. For example, if you have a friend who works in the retail industry, right? Just send him a message on LinkedIn, send him a message on WhatsApp and say, hey, I'm doing this like AI automation thing. And part of like I just want to understand like what are the problems like currently facing the retail industry. Like talk me a little bit more about the business model and like maybe like things that you've seen like so far in the retail like industry, for example. Just start talking, right? Again, this links back to one problem. It's basically by talking to your warm leads, your friends, family, and colleagues, not only can you actually experiment by actually providing like an AI automation build and build up your case studies and your portfolio, right? But you get to also understand problems, actual problems in the industry because they are in the industry. Chances are you probably got one friend or they probably got that one colleague they used to work with who works in a very specific industry. And they've got the knowledge to kind of help you understand that specific problem that you're trying to solve with your tech stack, with your AI automations, right? So that's really important. Start with warm leads, build up those case studies, understand the industry, understand the problems, and go from there. Now, my final kind of mistakes that people make, and I'm guilty of that myself as well, is that it's kind of linked to this, like talking to people. But basically, you can do it all by yourself. I just got to lock in my room and never talk to anyone else ever again for 2 years until I make it, right? I know it's such a common thing in like, I guess like entrepreneurship nowadays, but in reality, that's not how it works. Businesses are all about talking to people. And now if you haven't done the business before, I haven't done the business before. I've been an employee. I've been a worker. Like I've been like employed for the past 2 years straight out from college. So I don't have any previous entrepreneurial experience. And I thought like, oh, if I just lock in my room and then just try really hard and then you can just do it. No, businesses are all about talking to people. So what you need, there's few different things you can do. The first thing, the most obvious thing is community. Join your community. Join there's tons of people who are on the same journey as you. You're not as alone as you think you are. Just join this community. Go to school. Go to Discord server, especially platform Discord, like VoiceFlow, right? Like the VoiceFlow community Discord, for example. I've learned so much just by being in the community, right? And you get developer help. You get people who are on the same journey as you are. Just join the Discord and start talking to people, right? Maybe you can network some people. Who knows? Maybe someday, if you introduce yourself in the Discord and you're helping out people in the Discord, in the community server, it just doesn't have to be Discord. It can be school. Maybe someone will remember you, and then eventually they can recommend you for like a job, right? That happened to me once. So like, you just got to be active on these communities. Second thing, events. Now, again, I don't want you to be like, oh, I'm just going to start doing emails outreach and I'm just going to get as many clients as I want. You need to be paying attention to your networking side of things, which is joining as much events that are relevant to what you do. That could include hackathons, seminars, competitions, right? And for me, this has been the game changer for me. I joined, if you didn't know, I joined the VoiceFlow $1,000 voice AI competition. Not because of the cash prize, right? Because, I mean, the cash prize is nice, but like, I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking that if I started out, I don't have any authority or credibility, right? I need to establish myself as an expert. And the way to do that is by winning something. People will come to you if you prove yourself to be competent. So I decided to join competitions, which is the VoiceFlow competition, and I won. And I ended up getting quite a lot of leads from this competition by winning the competition, right? So again, don't kind of just shut yourself in your room and be like, oh, I'm going to try to make this work. Just be open-minded and look into events, look into communities, join them, start talking to people, network with people. That's the biggest piece of advice I can give you guys. And the last thing is a little bit like more specific, but like partnership. When you first started out, because they don't know who you are and you don't understand what problems industries face, the best thing you can do is partner with people who do have experiences with industries. For example, they are an expert in the retail industry, right? Or they have lots of connections, so they can introduce you to people who are in the retail industries, for example, right? So when I first started out, I actually joined like a AI project partnership agreement, like with someone else who has lots of connections, someone who is well established in the industry, right? And I'm the developer partner, right? So, and I signed an agreement with them because it's a working partnership for AI chatbot and voice agent, because I know the technical side of things, but I know that for the industry side of things, I'm not that experienced. I just started, right? I just started 4 months ago. So that's the key. That's the thing that you want to do, is that partner up with people who knows more than you, learn from them, provide value by building on the technical side of things, and just learn, right? That's the best way to learn. The best way to learn is by actually building real world solutions, not by just reading over documentations or watching YouTube videos. This video may be helpful, but like, what I want you to do is, after you watch this video, start watching more YouTube videos. Write down on a piece of paper or whatever, note down what things you can do right now from today after listening to this video, this advice, what things that you can change, what actions you can change to now really start growing your own AI agency. So hopefully this helps you guys. And yeah, this is quite a short one for today, but this helps. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.